Hello. I haven't been this excited for mail in quite a minute. Got 3 packages here. Made a little post. I was waiting on Rhea to wake up, our new puppy. Let me take this off camera. Don't want to show the label. Yeah, I was waiting for her to wake up from her nap before. Uh-oh. Did I already show it? Maybe I didn't. Oh, I suck at these boxes, man. Okay. Oh. Another cut. Is that it? There it is. Almost. There. Very big box for some one-drop bearings. Hopefully I didn't show that in there either. Man, all these addresses. I'm rusty, guys. It's been a minute, huh? Got a sticker. A viewer. I'll just leave his name out of it. He has an alias on Facebook, so, you know, just to draw less attention to him anyways. He's like, hey, if you want some of these, they're in stock. I said, cool, thanks. I'm gonna take this paper label out of here that I think gets paper dust in the bearings. I'm gonna set those aside. I knew those were in there. I have these stacked in order of how excited I am to open them. And labels down. This one also comes from Georgia. Mr. Wildman made me some superconductor buttons. Yeah, I didn't make my own buttons, but I can't get, oh, let's open these all the way first. I can't get superconductor of this quality right now. This is American-made superconductor. It's, well, actual superconductor. Oh, would have been cooler if I didn't flip it over. So it's, you know, it's real stuff. Oh, these are nice. And I can't get any, and I've wanted to make some for myself. So I tried to order some. Well, I ordered some directly from him. Saw that he was active on on Instagram again. I'm not anymore, but the only reason I was coming back on Instagram every now and then was to see if he was saying that my buttons were done yet, because I ordered these quite some time ago. Not that that's a bad thing, he got busy. But I told him my dimensions, he accidentally made them a little thicker, which I am totally cool with. Like, that's not a problem at all. Let's pull this knife up, this out of the way. Yeah, they're like, I don't know, it was only like like 300 thousandths or something. Not a big deal. I originally ordered them for the edamame here. Oh, I just love it. But that was before I got these crystallized zircuti buttons that I'm just, oh, I made them, but I love them. They're incredible. So let's try this in here. So these are, yeah, Wildman, Dixie Goods on Instagram. Used to go by Wildman. Yep, it table spins. Concentricity is pretty solid. I asked for that specifically. Yeah, they're nice on here. I can still rip it. A little bit softer feedback feel compared to the crystallized zircuti here. But I like them. Concentricity's nice, check it out. I passed on a set of these buttons in the past. Someone let me try them out and see if I like them. And I also got to polish them for them because I had some scuffs and scratches. But the concentricity was quite poor. This center portion here was like, it was all over the place, and that just not gonna work for my top making ass. These are lovely. They have a standard etch, not reverse etch, so the copper is etched in, and you can see how it's like rounded off on the sides, like, oh, that's pretty. What other spinners and stuff? I don't have that many spinners that fit. Well, I guess there's one right here. You know, you guys have probably been sitting here waiting. When's he gonna open up the spinner? I saw it in the thumbnail. All right, let's get into it. So I got this on trade from someone on Facebook, and I think he watches here on YouTube. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna say his name either, just, I don't know. Some people, I don't know if people want to be, you know, talked about or not, if we haven't talked about it, so no reason to bring up names. Yeah, we made a trade for this. He wants a top. I've actually got his material sitting right here. It's some 3 alloy Damascus that's like, it's not quite 1.25 inch, I don't think. Let's slap some calipers on it real quick. We're in millimeters, I don't do that. Yeah, 1.18. So it's gonna be, you know, not a small top, slightly bigger than standard, with a zirconium stem. And that's what we traded for this Tungsten Mave here. I've really wanted to try one of these for quite a while. Let's look at this card. And this is just like a little paper pouch. Okay. And W, Mave, Stonewash. 6/12/22. Thanks, this is definitely an older spinner. It was made about the time I started a collection, I suppose. When I think about it, I started a little bit before that. This is pretty. All right, let me make sure I don't have any dog hair on my hands. I don't. Should have checked that before the edamame. Oh yeah. The edges, they're not edges, but the radius is a little tighter than I imagined. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that, and maybe I won't bitch about it anymore. It might end up turning into a hot spot depending on how much I use this thing on my ripping finger right here. You see how it's kind of bites into the meat on my finger. I really like that round stuff. But besides that, oh man, this is quite dreamy. Buttons are a little slippery. The spin before this one, I had a little slip there. I need to make some buttons for this thing. This finish is going to be, ooh, you gave me a cool bearing, dude. This isn't like a singularity or whatever, I don't think, but it's cageless. So it's all balls, full ceramic. I do see, it's not a big deal, but I see a little dust here on the inside. So I'm going to, you know me, your watch here, I'm gonna clean this real quick. Please hold. That'll also give me a second to check on the puppy outside over here. Nice, she's literally just chilling in the yard. She's being a good girl. All right, blasted it with alcohol. Close my knife over here, open all the packages. This is a cool bearing. I'm just still thinking about that. Close my case here, so it's about to turn on the hairdryer. Headphone. Oh, I didn't know these buttons did that. Whoa, cool. Okay, so I gotta use a different one for my hairdryer drying method, which is resting a button in the top and then spinning it. Give it a flip, keep doing it. That'll do. My mind was just blown for a second there with this button situation. They're definitely they're not super grippy. I'm actually gonna do this. These are tungsten. They do allow it to spin. How do they look? Yeah, they're just too thick. Switch back. Too thick. These are zirconium. You know, I've had them sitting up here for a minute without a home. God, these M3 threads are long. Oh, it's trying to come out on both sides, that's why. Let's see what this is fitting like. I don't really care about having zirconium buttons on tungsten. It's a very loud combo. But I'm checking clearances and, you know, I can remake this button, so to say. And I like how it looks. Good security. It's noisy as all hell. That's what I was saying. These are very thin buttons, and being Zerk on a ceramic bearing and tungsten spinner, it's like max noise combo. Okay, let me talk about this spinner. I keep getting distracted by other things and my personal preferences. You guys are here for this thing, right? Sorry for waiting 10 minutes to start talking about the spinner. It has excellent feedback through this bearing. I mean, really in this button. I'm going to switch back to the original button just so I can, I guess, talk about it in its true form. Is that set screw moving on me? I can't tighten this one. I always bitch about that. Because of the rubies. They have to be set at a certain point, and I don't want to put pressure on the backside. So, yeah. That's really nice. I need to set these to the side in a safe place, because these are my babies. I love these things. Set the edamame buttons back up. Really taking my time here, aren't I? Keep the amaryllis here, keep the edamame here. Let's do, is this thing set in place? It is. Nice. Let's clean this also. I ran away again. I'm so rusty. So this is neat how it's a multi-piece. I wonder if I can utilize, I probably can. I don't have to use any 1-inch tungsten to do this, or do I utilize this centerpiece still, which is the hard part, and remake something like this that allows for slightly, you know, more of a wall on the side here. I could remake that piece. That would be less material. Sidetracked again. My apologies. It's just, I'm so intrigued by this. I really didn't know that this was part of the design of the button. Had no clue. This one likes to be, this one's a little stuck. Why are we stuck? Dust. That's why. That's just how it goes. Man. I'm so excited. Like, I'm just like, hurry, 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 do it, spin it, go. Yeah, it's an excellent spinner. Let's pick up the amaryllis here. It may be faster than the amaryllis. Does it weigh less? I haven't even pulled the scale out, have we? Frame the shot. What's up, Raya? Hey, girl. I'm saying hey to the puppy, guys. We're gonna have to pause for that. What's up, girl? Oh, you're a sister, sweetie. Come here. It's a good girl. I put on her little line here under the desk so I don't have to watch her. When she's here in the shop, it's a little risky, you know. She can get into stuff she's not supposed to get into. Sometimes metal chips on the floor. I have pulled one out of her mouth. That was not fun. It's more scary for me than her. 127, 105. Yeah, it's a good bit lighter. Okay. I want to check the body weight, because that's where the spin feel comes from, you know. There she goes running off with something. 71.2, 88.6. Yup. It's definitely lighter. I mean, there's not a lot of material here. Look how much is removed from the middle, you know? It's crazy. Like, this thing only weighs, is it 70 something? Oh, it's 59. I'm out of my mind. Set that back up. Set this back up. What are you doing? You able to get the water? Here. I think she was trying to get to her water bowl, but couldn't quite get there. I had moved it to not knock it over myself. So it's quite a lightweight tungsten spinner. It's very fast. This bearing has, like, it's very free spinning. but it's got like a rumble to it too. Just a slight. It's not that I dislike it, because it is nice. I just am curious what some other ones may feel like. The lines of these buttons really match up well with the spinner, don't they? Am I getting that in frame? I think so. Yeah, that's a ripper, guys. The Mave by Fairyworks. I don't think they did tungsten in the second run. I think it was called the 1.1. It's maybe a slightly different size. They did basically every other metal, and maybe even some exotics. They did all the standard stuff. Zirc and titanium, stainless, copper. And I had sought after a tungsten one of these for a little bit, but kind of gave up on my search. But buddy that had that one on Facebook, you know, I shot my shot, and I was like, I tried to trade him like my tungsten bubble or the obsidian, but he asked about a top, and I was like, you know, I could do that. I could do a top for this, because this is like one of those spinners that really doesn't come up very often. There's only 2 handfuls of them made, you know, and from what I've heard, a lot of them, that was a bad pickup, won't pass a lift test. This one passes the lift test, you know? I mean, you can tell when you spin it, it is just dead nuts, smooth and solid. Man, this is such a cool spinner. Very happy to have it in my collection. It is in excellent shape. I don't think it has a single, it's got one little like flat spot drop mark right there. Matches my amaryllis. It's not even like a ding, it's just it's a flat spot from hitting. I know, I've always wondered what does that. So it's right there. Let's see if we can find the one on the amaryllis. It's hard to find because on the amaryllis it even blends into the machine lines. There's one of them. There's a couple on the amaryllis. It took a pretty good hit one time, it seems like. Maybe that's the main one. Or no, right there. Anyways. Still well loved. The Mave has more feedback. Probably due to design of the body. Could be this bearing too. Very high feedback. This one's a freakish ceramic bearing in here. The sound right there I don't love. There it is more. I wonder if it does it more on one side than the other. Interesting. More when I rotate it this way. Maybe that has to do with the little groove that's on these bearings. That would make sense. Do I put a 1-drop in here? I'm not sure. I don't know if I want a 1-drop in anything right now. I considered it in this, but I think I really like this ceramic. So I don't know if we're going to be doing any bearing swaps here today. Maybe. Thought about doing it in the stainless torque bar. Something super silent and buttery, but I'm really not sure. I really like a lot of my bearing setups right now. I don't know if I want to bother changing them. Wow, look at that imprint. Some sweat going on. Bonked my elbow right there. Yeah, this is a really cool spinner. I like it a lot. I got to see what leather slips it fits in. I did not bring my fanny pack or slips out here with me, so that'll have to happen later. Just kind of hanging out at the end for anybody here actually messing with the fidget. Circle back to the buttons. I gotta say, when you look at these side by side, the Mave is like way cooler looking. This thing's kind of like super basic looking, you know? It's very comfortable. I mean, loads more comfortable on the buttons and the body itself. I enjoy using this much more. I'm just gonna say that right off the get-go. Even the squid is much more comfortable. I even have similar sound profiles. Very different bearings. This has a 9-ball full ceramic. A little louder. Edamame. These are cool. I honestly can't wait to show these off. Yeah, they're wicked cool. Great concentricity. Great polish. I don't have to do anything to these, you know. It's nice. At this point, only thing I wish I would have done is ordered thicker. That's it. But that's okay. You know, it's gonna look goofy as hell, ain't it? I'm gonna try it though. We're still rolling. Rhea fell asleep behind me over here, so I should have said R instead of her full name. We've been trying to do that instead, you know, not try to use it in standard conversation to make it more powerful when it's actually used. Well, it looks beautiful from this perspective. It's from the side, it's like, yeah. Feels really nice and smooth on this side with these buttons. The little flip. Just don't like the sound the bearing makes on that side. How long are we at? 22. I'm looking in my bearing stash here, guys. I'm thinking about it. Let's put this up. Let's put this in its home. Which way is this gonna go in the collection? Interesting. We'll add it to the end here. And just for the sake of having buttons on this thing and keeping the bearing less exposed, I'm gonna put these back on here. After the video, you know what? Man, that sounds so good. But I gotta get more content. It's literally the thought that I had when I just reversed what I was doing here. Gotta keep buttons on it to keep the bearing as protected as possible. Now let's look at how that is. Really doesn't look good at all. Maybe I'm hard on myself, I don't know. That there, just had the thought to see how these guys look. Terrible grip security on these buttons, if I'm being honest. Oh yeah, I wanted to try these on there. You know, this button swapping, I forget what I have. Yeah, no. Nope, that doesn't look good at all. Now this though, this I actually had thought about earlier today. Whenever I was messing with the obsidian. I know these will fit. Oh. For such a short screw. Oh, baby. Okay. Well. Sorry, obsidian. You are benched from awesome buttons. I think that's just how these bearings are. Going for a swap. And you know what? God, I don't know if I like the obsidian that much. I keep thinking if I want to sell it. I really like this particular bearing. It's a good one. Maybe I swap. Yeah, I'm doing it. I really want to experience this Mave with a 9-ball ceramic. These Onedrops, I'm really not sure what I am going to put them in right now, but I bought them because they were available. Like, I don't know if it was a good or bad decision. I think it was a good decision. All right. This is kind of exciting. Get everything stacked up here. And I wonder if this is a press fit or a Loctite in. I'll tell you, that thing is in there tight, that's for sure. Could be a press fit. Don't see any glue. If it is, that's kind of awesome. I like press fit spinners. I think I'm against the grain there because of how it can compress bearings, and I totally agree with that. But I like it for ease of bearing swaps. This one is actually a press fit too, but it's a very light press fit. I have not had to use glue in the obsidian yet. Just to throw that in there mid-sentence. So I like the press fit for just ease of swapping buttons or bearings. Let's see, this side, it is symmetrical on the chamfers. So we're just gonna go right in here. I don't have to take it back off. There's no Loctite, you know, to worry about getting in the bearings because everything was press fit. Oh man, that's just, it is tight. Goodness gracious. Hope this bearing survives. Maybe a little too tight on the tolerance of your Fairyworks. That could be why this cageless bearing is nice in here. Yeah, you hear that? I think this bearing is under too much compression. We will see if it survives when it goes back in the obsidian, if this is not a good experience. Let's see. My hands are a little bit sweaty. Little alcohol blast there. Spinning pretty freely on the spinner. Okay, let's give it a rip. Okay, we got an imbalance, so I gotta try to get this thing in there better. But I like the feel and the feedback more, so that's a good sign. It feels good. Seems to spin nice and freely. So I push that out from that way. We're gonna flip it and give it pressure from this side and see where we're at. And then if that doesn't fix it, we'll press it out, hope it doesn't break, and put it in the other way. There's not much else that I know to do to try to fix it, you know? That would suck if it can't get it to feel balanced. Nope, we're shimmying. Interesting. Not lift test passing. It's crazy how just the bearing change can do that. Just gonna have to do it again. We're going long form here. I thought I was gonna end this video like 3 times now. Thanks for hanging out. Let me know if you're still here. Literally just, I don't know, drop me a comment. I don't know if it's like worth doing this kind of stuff. So that pressed out pretty easy. Okay. We're gonna flip everything here. So we're like this. If we flip everything over again, just one way. Literally feels like this side is not as tight. Interesting. Could have tested that before, I suppose. Yeah, look at this now. I'm not having to use like full fist. There we go. It's getting tight at the bottom, but not all the way down. I did something. Well, I gotta figure out which side is which here. All right. Kind of hard to get this button tight, I'm finding. Get that sweat off again. It's actually a little warm in here. I turned the AC off and opened the door. Kind of hot today. I think that got it. That was a bad pickup. Yeah. So now I have a cleaner sound profile whenever I rotate it. There's less of that rattle scratch going on that I think happens with these cageless bearings, which is either, I have 2 theories. You see the groove on the inner race right here at my fingernail? It's my theory that whenever you have it loaded up on this side, so you know you're holding the button under it, and gravity is pulling the balls and the spinner onto that part of the inner race with the groove. And I've wondered if that makes a little bit of that rumble kind of noise, or if it's literally the balls kind of, they can't necessarily bounce off of each other. Centrifugal forces and everything are going to be applied, and they're going to have consistent force on them, so they can't exactly rattle around. But in combination with the groove and the space, there's got to be something going on there, because the cageless ones don't do it, or the caged bearings don't have that same effect going on. The balls are separated and there's no groove, so those are the 2 variables. I like it a lot. Let's put this in the obsidian and see what it feels like. We got kind of that same effect going on. If it's got that, we'll call it bumpiness, maybe inconsistency. That went in. You see how easy that went in? I don't even know if that's gonna hold. This one might actually need Loctite. This is like a, there are, I don't know if it's variable tolerances on, oh, I meant to put these back on here, didn't I? You know, I'm not going to. I mean, I like it how it is. I'm just trying to change it, and I really like the obsidian how it is, and I'm not going to like the obsidian without these. Oh. Well. Call me surprised. This is a swap that needed to happen. The chunkiness of this spinner body and these buttons hide a lot of that bumpiness. I can feel it more on this side. So that must be the side that I'm hitting the groove. But I like the the sound profile and the feel and the tightness of this bearing. They're pretty equal, I would say. Okay, no, this one's definitely tighter. But I like that for a tri-spinner. I'm gonna put this thing in my box. No, I'm not. I have to take pictures. I'm gonna take this out of my box and take this out of my box. I'm gonna pack up the bearing stuff. I'm wrapping up here, guys. I'm frankly tired of talking. I don't want to be here anymore. I just want to go inside, hang out with the dogs, play with fidgets, get a snack. All those things. Where did this come from? I have no idea. One of these packages. Oh, that's what the edamame buttons came out of it. Okay. This in the drawer. Taking that inside with me. Oh, and this is also the bearings that are going to go in this top. That's why these are up here. And I finished this flashlight piece for another friend on Facebook and viewer of the channel, some crystallized zircuti. Polished it today. It's going to get acid etched and flamed the next time I do some etching for crystallized zircuti, which will be soon, because I plan to make a top out of that stuff for this very reason. Probably going to use some of these bearings too, because I can high heat color. And now I'm going to take a thumbnail. See you guys. Thanks for watching.